Alrighty, another day, another Woodle. 1441. Um, let's start with something simple. Just go with sound. Alright, there's that. Maybe you want to try something to like isolate the O and the U. Just try to figure that part out. So like BOU, uh, doubt, think covers a decent bit. Okay, so there's still a yellow from here. And I mean, it could be one of these three, but I'm assuming that the OU, one of them is part of it. Let's try something like, what haven't I done? Mm, Paler. All right, that's one and two stuff here. So we've got three from here. And there's one over here. So let's say it's the what if it's EAGLE? No, that's not. I mean, I could try that. We would have one EAGLE would technically satisfy that, but it wouldn't satisfy this. So I could try bagel, BAGEL, and see if that works. All of these are in different spots, so let's try that. It does not work. But this is also interesting. So there's I didn't realize the E was in a different. It was in the same spot. I should have seen that. The A is over here, so the A is not the green one. At least we know that. And one of the yellows, or the green actually, is either the PL or the R. So either the PL or R is in the right spot. Um, hmm. Let's try P. P. Or let's assume that the R is in the right spot. So it could be AR. Bar. Um, bar. Wish I had some reds. That could really help. Is there anything I can try? Wife. Wime. Wike. Without specifically doing anything. So I think I have to do Mikey. Mike's. Let's try Mike's and then see if we get anything from here. I'm um guess I can rule out. Just go with it. Okay, so there's two in here. I want to know if I can rule out the MIK. If there's any way I can 100% definitively do that. So if I have to rule out MIK, that means this and this would be the yellows. That means this would be a yellow. Everything else is ruled out. One thing over here. So it's either D, B, or T. Um, E is one thing. He's over here. I mean, it doesn't necessarily. There's two from here, so even if the A and L are there, that's one, two, three, four, five. Technically, E and S could work out. Reset that. Um, This is not going that well, my opinion. We do know if it's the S. It's not the first or last letter. We know it's either P, L, or R that's in the right spot. We could assume that the L is in the right spot. Let's just go with that. Do. Could I go donut? And then see if the U can also match in a certain spot, maybe? So the N and the U would just be interchanged, and we could just confirm that if there's a green. Don't like that I'm using a bit of entry for this, but I need something concrete. Perfect. So we know that the N and U, right over here, there's the U as a thing, the DO, T. So we know that this is definitely red, this is definitely red, and this is definitely red, because otherwise this would have shown up as a green if one of those letters were in this, or yellow, I guess. So we've got this. We know there's either a B or a U, probably the U, because the U is also the one over here. If it is the U, I can also rule out these over here. I'll just do it all across the board. Is there any T? I am very surprised that there's no D, O, or T in any of my other guesses. Oh, there's the D over here. Let's try. So we know there's one from here, this one from here. I'm going to assume it's the U, in which case the B and N and S would not be in the right spots. I don't have enough to go. I think I'm going to have to go beyond 7. I was really trying to hope to keep it within that. Um, something in the middle. What if I can rule out the middle part as well? So I can go DON and something that isn't a thing. So DON. Don't know. And then we can put in the R. Problem is, if there is a green, the R could be in the same place. So is there something else I can put over here instead? Donald. Do not. What if I go moron? And then if there's a green, we can assume that the R is the green. Because the N, if the N was a green, this would not be a thing. O and doesn't work. The M would also have been a green over here. So if there is a green, that's our best shot. Isn't a green. So what this tells us is that the N is probably in the right spot. I mean, either M and R are together. Let me just delete these two out so we can see that more clearly. the M and R are together, or it's the R and N. I mean, the chances of the M actually being a thing, I don't know. I feel like the N is more likely, so the N being in the middle kind of makes sense. The R being at the end also kind of makes sense. So if I do donor and I get 20, I know exactly what it is. Donor. Interesting. So there's not. This is good. So the N and R aren't together, which means the M is a yellow, right? Because one of these can be in the right spot. It's either this or this. Um, so the other one has to be the M, which means that one of these letters is also in the word. So let me just list out the letters that we have. We have an M for sure. We have IKES, potentially one of those four. We have kind of the E as a thing as well, but we've got one from here as well. And we've got the E. If it is the E, it's not in the right spot for sure. And then they could be the R, could be something else. Mm, there's either a B or a U. Is there a U? The U is over here, so that is a likely spot for the U. That does kind of match up with this. The B could also be a thing. It could be the U. The N is green over here, yellow over here, so it could be the N as well. And then it's green again over here, so I'm going to assume that maybe it's the. I don't know, actually. There's only two. If you rule out the U, that means the B is the yellow. B and M are the same thing. Got the I as well. That probably isn't anything significant, but it could be. PL, all these letters are common enough, generally. I might have to just go on probabilities at this point. So, given that there's only two letters, we know that either the R is at the end or the N is in the middle. If the N is in the middle, so we'll go off of that particular thing. I wish I could reset to a certain state. Might actually look into this and see if I can do that later. So we got the N, the R, and the N. Got the RR. I'm really fixated on those. Like I feel like that's the key to everything. Okay, let's just see this. So if the N is in the right spot, that means U is not it. If U isn't it, then I mean this is still fine. Let's say the R is in the right spot. That means N is it. N isn't. That means the U is in that spot. U can still be in that spot. Then rule out those two. So I want to rule out either the U being in this spot or the N being in this spot. Uh, ma, mono, if I can go with timid, I can also rule out the I and search to see if the M is in the middle. If the M is in the middle, then I know that it's a risky strategy, but we could give that a shot, actually. Timid. Perfect. So we know that the M is in some spot. So this is definitely the M. That means this one is a green because the M has to be somewhere and there's nothing else over here. So the M is in the middle. Everything else has to be a red. If the M is in the middle, that means this is a red. That could still be a thing. This one is definitely not it. That unlocked a lot for us. That's great. The R is in the right spot. That means that this is the yellow. This is not. This is in the right spot. So it's MUR. I is not it. There's a T here somewhere, maybe. No, TI. That's it. So then after that we have 2 over here. We know where the R is. This is the R. There's another 2 over here. It could be lemur. I think lemur is probably more than likely. Lemur. Let me just double check that. So the LE, those 2 are the things. LE is over here. Lemur, and then the MUR, of course. The E is the other part over here. There's the U. There's the one single stuff. This doesn't work. This is also the S. It's not it. The B is not it. I mean, I think it's likely going to be lemur. There we go. Took us 10 tries though, so but I got it. Alrighty.